They're now content with being just good. That is terrible. Just good.
It's just really too bad.
Who cares about winning a title? You made the playoffs. You won 11 games. Who cares? Hey, Christian Watson's gone. You didn't replace him at receiver. Or maybe you did. You did with McCole Hardman. He's a speedster. So you know what? That's fine.
I hate how he's a speedster.
Oh, man. You guys are just so
Make him
much.
sound like he's the fastest guy in Mario Kart.
All that groupthink over there, those guys, they're just groupthink. They want too much, man. They should just want guys to be happy.
That's the scathing critique? Is that? A couple of personal pot shots at me? Listen, man, it's the big leagues, dude. You can take pot shots at me. I don't give a rip. The bottom line is, you're sitting here. This is again, Goody has put this team in position. You could say 15 years. Was it Goody's fault in 2014? Was it Goody's fault in 2020 when you're the 1 seed? Was it Goody's fault when you're the 1 seed and you blow a game against San Francisco at home? Like, it's not Goody's fault. And it's not easy to win championships. No, it's not. So this whole complacency and all three of those fellas just sitting there just patting themselves on the back. Maybe that's good radio. I don't know. Maybe it is. I just sit there saying, oh, this. You have to let a process unfold. You can't. How many times do you see a team go from a Hall of Fame quarterback to being in the playoffs and having a lead to go to an NFC champ the next blanking year? So is it complacency? I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys. I was on the table here saying I want Devonta Adams there. I wanted him. I was one of the first people to say, let's go do it. They didn't. Okay. They believe that the more urgent, and I got into this with you yesterday too, the more urgent need was to give better protection to Jordan Love and to be better up front against the better teams in the NFC. That's what Brian Gutekunst has done. He will be judged on that. If the receiving corps stinks again, he will be judged harshly. It's April 3rd. It's April 3rd. It's not August. It's not September. That's where I don't take any of that criticism. I'm fine. I'm a big fella, literally and figuratively. Go ahead. Throw stuff at me. You three just groupthink yourselves in and say that this is what needs to do. And when the Packers are sitting in a position to be in the playoffs and winning a division again next year, then what are you guys going to talk about? That's what happens. And this year was disappointing from what it was last year. But last year wasn't disappointing. So it doesn't move the needle for me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't.
I don't want to be like yelled at or whatever, but that was. I'm not sure that was good enough for us to even play on our show.
Oh, snap.
Well, I don't. Other than taking personal shots at me, I don't know what else that was. I mean, they obviously, and this is the part that bothers me, Jason, when I go on with them. They'll sit and bash Goody and think the Packers think. They talk like the Packers are a 5-12 team. And then I call them out on that, and it is like, no. You guys are looking at it and saying this roster stinks and isn't good enough. Then stand and defend on that point. That's all. But that's not what they do. And that's the part that bothers me about what they're doing. That's all.
Yeah.
This is a team. Here's the bottom line, and then we can move on. The bottom line is this is a team that is a couple pieces away, and most fans and KBN Nation think it's a wide receiver that they needed. Brian Gutekunst thought it's a corner and a guard. It's not as sexy. It's not as great for media. No question. I'm not going to argue that. But let's not get things twisted here. Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur watched film and said, we need, and then with who's available in the free agency market. If Justin Jefferson was available, or Jamar Chase, or T. Higgins, maybe the Packers go and are more aggressive there. They were not, or at least that was not the way it was going to be. They thought this is what needed to happen to make this team better. And you know what? We will find out if that's right. I don't know. But that is the urgency piece, and that's where I got into it with you a little bit yesterday. That's the urgency piece to this. And they probably know a little bit more. And if they don't and they're wrong, you know what happens accountability-wise? Heads roll in the NFL.
So the problem I have with this is somewhere in between. They're a 5-12 team. They're terrible. Goody sucks, and then the constant benefit of the doubt. Let them grow. However they chose to characterize your position. I do think that on this program, I appear to be a far greater critic of Goody, and I feel like I take some, as you like to say, shrapnel, because people think that because I'm a little more critical of him that I hate him or I think he sucks. Look, I think he's a very good general manager. My issue with him, which I don't
so Jason,
think maybe...
before you go on
sure,
your thing, we'll have to wait till after Evan. I know it's not Monday, but that's really what KBN and their fans. I am a Goody. I think Brian Gutekunst has done a whale of a good job. I don't know how you can't. You're talking about transitioning from a Hall of Fame quarterback, getting draft picks, getting rid of Aaron Rodgers, and then bringing Jordan Love in with all of this, and you're a playoff team, 7th seed, no doubt. When he had Aaron Rodgers, they had the 1 seed in home field twice. So he rebuilt a roster from that cold, snowy day against the Arizona Cardinals, bringing in 4 free agents. Is he perfect? He's not. No. But this is basically a referendum. Is Brian Gutekunst been a good general manager for the Green Bay Packers?
Well, no.
KBN thinks he stinks.
Yeah,
and I think he's really good, and I think you think he's in the middle. That's how I assess the situation.
If it's terrible, perfect, and in the dead center it's mediocre, he is far over from mediocre toward perfect. He is a good general manager. Anybody who disputes that, they have other issues.
Yeah, the groupthink boys over at KBN feel that way, and that's the part that bothers me.
And look, we'll talk to Evan Cohen. Evan Cohen has said on this show that he thinks he's the best GM in football. So we will ask him from a national perspective.
It's tough to go against Howie after what he's done with Philly. I mean, I am a Goody stan, and I can't say he's better than what Philly did. I'd be an idiot.
I guess my point is that, and you have been one of the people that have taught us this, free agency is used for when you miss in the draft.
Yep.
So Xavier McKinney is a fantastic signing. He had no business being available, but they had to sign Xavier McKinney because he missed on Darnell Savage with a first-round pick. They had to sign Aaron Banks and move Elton Jenkins because he missed on his center, Josh Myers, in the 2021 draft. I don't think you can say that he is so star-spangled awesome when from the 2020 and 2021 drafts he has Jordan Love and Isaiah McDuffie left to show for it. And you can play the game, as I wrote about on channel3000.com, about how, players aren't getting signed to second contracts as often. Okay, fair. But still, you want to do better than one guy from each of those drafts. And I get a lot of grief for this as well because I think I treat Goody a lot like I treat Jordan Love, which is, yeah, he's good. Is he as good as we have crowned him as being? I don't believe either of them are. That doesn't mean that they're not good. It means that when you've seen Ron Wolf, who is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, when you have seen Ted Thompson, who you can disagree with how stringent he was about draft and develop, but he did get Charles Woodson. He brought in Julius Peppers, who had an impact. He drafted some really, really good football players, too, who actually won a title. When you see that, when you see Brett Favre for most of your career and Aaron Rodgers for the entirety of his career, I'm going to hold the GM and the quarterback to a higher standard. And we can still say that they're good. We can still say they're very good, but they're not great. And I don't think that that's an unfair critique for a team that hasn't won a title in 15 years. And for you to argue that, they had a number one seed in 21, or they were the number one seed in 20, I don't know if you can say that that's because they have Brian Gutekunst as their GM, as much as you would say they had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Because, again, he chose in 2022 to trade Devontae Adams and have as his number one receiver for that Hall of Fame quarterback, Allen freaking Lazard. That's not great as a general manager. I don't care how you feel about everything else he did. You can blame Aaron Rodgers for not being more open and welcoming to the 3 rookies that were drafted that year. But the fact of the matter is, you were the number one seed the previous year, and you decided to go into another season after you paid the quarterback a $150 million contract because you didn't believe that your hand-picked successor was ready yet. So you paid him $50 million for the 22 season. You can't say that that's a great job. You just can't. And I don't understand how you can argue that. So he gets credit for drafting Jordan Love and him being a good quarterback. We will find out if he deserves to be put on the same mantle or if even Lynn Dickey will finish ahead of him in terms of the pecking order of Packers quarterbacks all time. I don't know, but we did crown him prematurely. The reality is that they have not gotten it done. However you want to slice it. They're young. They're choosing. It's a 3 to 5 year plan. However you want to view it. Okay? That where they are now is good. They have been good. And anybody who says they've been anything less is being unfair, and I don't agree with them. But for all of our excitement that we felt at the end of the 23 season, they lose at home against a team that had nothing to play for in the Lions in the 22 finale. In 23, there were a lot of ups and downs, as you would expect from a first-year starting quarterback and a young team. They made the playoffs with a seed that didn't exist a couple of years earlier. And last year, they lost their last 2 regular season games, made the playoffs, and then lost their playoff game, again as the 7th seed. So if there wasn't a 7th seed, we'd be sitting here going, God, they haven't made the playoffs since they lost that game to the 49ers as the number 1 seed at home in the divisional round. They've missed the playoffs 3 years running. That make it a lot harder to make an argument that this general manager and this quarterback have been great.
Let's live in reality, though. Because that's not reality.
Come on,
reality
it is reality.
It is reality. Went and beat a Dallas team. Okay, you can litigate it all you want.
Because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't make that point. Last year they went 1-5 in the division.
Playoff didn't exist.
Nobody
cares, Jason. But it did when it did, and then when they won, they were ahead in the third quarter. You're just trying to. I don't even know what you're trying to do. You're trying to anti-Gutenite it. I guess.
All right. Tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
There's a lot of buzz around the draft.
Talked for a long time there. You didn't clearly listen.
No, I did listen. I disagreed with your points. That can happen. Can happen when it comes to who you need to go to for windows and doors, and that, of course, is Pella. A lot of buzz around the draft. You're not going to find drafts seeping through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In fact, you should make Pella your number 1 pick because right now you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Right, Wilde? Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Getting a few comments in the YouTube comments. We'll see what people have to say about that debate next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner,
it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired.
And we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
Unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The losing streak is over for the Bucks after another huge Giannis Antetokounmpo performance.
No hesitation. Giannis drives right and Richardson hammers it down with a monster right-hand slam. The Greek Freak bringing the thunder as the Bucks go ahead 60-53. 8-0 run.
133-123 the final for the Bucks over the Suns on Tuesday night as Giannis drops 37 in the win. The Bucks 41st of the season. Next up, they're in Philly for a game against the 76ers. That one tips off at 6 o'clock on Thursday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Norman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5.9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5.9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
For Evan Cohen to join us. We'll ask him his position on Brian Gutekunst. How did our debate, beef, whatever you want to call it, with KBN and then Tausch poo-pooing what I thought was a pretty reasonable argument, How's the response
Just wait a
on
second.
the carbless talking
what was your
text line?
reasonable argument? Just so that
I'm not gonna relitigate this. I'm gonna ask for people's opinions. So thank you for chiming in, but we're gonna move forward.
The bad drafts of 20 and 21 is kind of
what do we got on the carbless
right?
talking text line?
Okay.
Nick and Wanakee, the GM's performance on picking guys in the first round alone takes him out of the category of elite. So is this going to be like the quarterback thing where, like, is Joe Flacco elite? Is Goody elite as a GM is going to be the new thing?
The job of the general manager, yes, you want to hit on all your first-round picks, and I will agree with Nick that he has not been elite other than he got a franchise quarterback, which is pretty good. So that part of it notwithstanding, yeah, his first-round picks have not been as impactful as they need to be. I can't argue with Nick on that. But the job of the general manager is to give your coaches enough personnel to win a championship. And I would argue that in how many years has Goody been the GM, Jason? 7 seasons, going on his 8th. Is that right?
That is correct.
I would say he's been half. He's had teams that were good enough to win a championship and positioned to win a championship in 4, maybe 5 of those seasons. And I think that's pretty doggone good. That's what I think.
From the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments, Mick, never is heard a discouraging word about Aaron Rodgers from the lips of Jay Wilde. It would break Wilde's jaw to rip Rodgers the way he rips Goody. Is that right? I had to text him because I ripped the hell out of him for not showing up for the minicamp with the Jets. I've ripped him plenty. Michael, Goody's job is to sustain some success. The coaching staff needs to get the team over the hump and win championships. Wilde never says squat negative about LaFleur. He has a vendetta about Goody. Wilde likes texts because Jesse screens out the good ones. Milltown Taylor gang. Never heard anyone call Goody or Jordan Love great. Really? Somebody had him in the MVP conversation a year ago. Wilde is just bumping his mouth. He's arguing against himself right now. This is why nuanced conversations on this show apparently don't work in that chat area.
You like those YouTube dwellers?
Coming after the chatters.
You like those dwellers?
This is garbage. Huh? This is garbage. That's what that is. That's garbage.
You have, I'll say this. You are definitely more pro LaFleur. I am more pro Goody. I think Matt LaFleur is a really good coach.
Press conference criticizing and asking him question after question about how jacked up the play action was and how he didn't figure out a way to make the play action game work with a new running back and a new scheme. I don't understand how that's possibly letting him get away with it. When he loses his cool and gets penalties or doesn't keep control of the game, we criticize him for it. So don't give me this.
I like that bump in your gums, though. I like that. The big gum bumper.
GB.
The gum bumper.
Well, I'm not bumping
Jason, I think here's the deal. I think you're... And a lot of fans, it's not just KBN and you on the Goody side of it. I think there's just a frustration that are we settling, I think, what did Nordy say? Settling for mediocrity or contentment? You guys really think Goody is settling for contentment? You really think that's what is going on here? Because he's not overpaying and going and getting DK Metcalf or Chase Claypool or something else? Like, that's the part... I just have a problem with guys that have played that understand, and I said this to Brust on Tuesday. Ben Brust as a freshman wasn't Ben Brust as a senior. Matter of fact, I think Bo Ryan said Ben Brust couldn't guard a chair, I do believe. And you know what happened? Ben got better and was a huge component to the team, whereas if Ben Brust was doing a radio show about Ben Brust, he'd have had his butt off the team and a transfer portal come in to replace his butt as a sophomore. That's all I was trying to say, that there is a little empathy for growth. Like, it has to be there. Those guys would have been the same ones getting rid of Devontae Adams in 2016. That's all. I've seen this movie enough to know that there is some patience that needs to be in play throughout this process when you have a young football team. That's all. That's all.
It's time to shop Beautyrest Black Mattresses at Steinhafels. Beautyrest Black Mattresses use sleep climate technology that transfers heat away from the body. I need something to transfer some heat away from me right now. And triple-stranded pocket coil technology to give you the most advanced support system in a mattress. Right now, the new Beautyrest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Evan Cohen joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, and springtime is here and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. You can combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball and hockey and esports and much more. The second half of the basketball season is here, and the push to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, comedian Roy Wood Jr. joins Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members' direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
It is Evan Cohen. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Jason, how are you?
I'm trying to understand what is the proper amount to criticize Brian Gutekunst. You have been, I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Brian Gutekunst in the diorama of all the great GMs in the league?
Yeah, so I think that when I think about Goody, I think he's very good. I've called him the best GM in the NFL. I think right now it's hard to do that because of Howie Roseman and what the Eagles have done and the decisions that they've made. I think that my guess is anyone that manages any people or any companies that listen is really good. And anyone who doesn't, which is totally fine, would look at him and say, I'm not sure what he's accomplished. The reason I draw that line is the admiration I have for him is how many hard decisions he's made and how they've worked out. And I think that's not an easy thing to do. Most people in life run from hard decisions. This guy runs towards them. He literally got rid of Aaron Rodgers and drafted his replacement and still got 2 years out of him in terms of an MVP, or 2 MVP years out of him. And we could say that Jordan Love did not have as good of a year as we thought he would last year. No one is saying he's not the quarterback of the present and the future. He got rid of Rodgers. He got Love. That makes you a good GM. He made hard decisions.
Got rid of Aaron Jones, brought in Josh Jacobs. That decision turned out to be pretty good, too. Yep.
And Tausch, that's a hard decision. Aaron Jones was very good for the Green Bay Packers.
One of the favorites of the franchise, absolutely.
And, I mean, Tausch, in your life, you have run things. You have been in charge of different things. Hard decisions are that, really hard. This guy doesn't seem to be afraid of those.
Well, so here's why we're talking about that this morning. I had my appearance on KBN on Tuesday, and the boys got after me because they're trying to say that I'm content being mediocre and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is, and this is what I was just telling Jason, Brian Gutekunst has had his team. He's been the GM 7 years. I would make a really good argument. 4 years they had really great, not good, great opportunities to win a championship. 4 out of 7. Now, Jason brought up 22. Disastrous year. 100% agree. Traded Devontae, didn't have the wideouts to do it. Rodgers was on, it was the Jordan Love, all of that. But then to transition and get to a point where you were 2 seasons ago is unbelievable. And now you're disappointed again. So there is pressure on him. I'm not arguing that. But what he's done from when he started to where he has been really good. And it's not been about contentment or anything else. It's not easy to win. Look at the New England Patriots, guys. Tom Brady leaves, they fall apart. Aaron Rodgers leaves. The Packers are in the blanking divisional championship or the divisional round with a chance to beat San Fran to go to an NFC championship game a year later. That doesn't happen by accident. That's always my point.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the Devontae thing. That's a good one. I mean, what'd they get in return for him?
A first and a second.
First and a second.
And since then, he's been on 3 teams.
He was first team All-Pro. He was a first team All-Pro with the Raiders his first year there, though.
Congratulations. What did he do? What did they do?
Well, do we think the Raiders? We think they didn't win. we think they didn't win because Davante Adams wasn't good enough with the Raiders?
No, I think they didn't win because they valued a wide receiver in a way that they shouldn't.
Interesting.
Now, that's not Davante Adams' fault that he plays wide receiver, obviously, right? And I just think that's giving up a first and a second for a wide receiver is nuts to me, because I'd rather have 2 offensive linemen for the first and the second than a 1 wide receiver, if it were me. We also have to realize that I'm not trying to make a bold statement here with what I'm about to say. They didn't have the ultimate winner at quarterback, even though he's won a lot. I'm just saying.
Expand. What do you mean?
Well, Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal at racking up numbers for Aaron Rodgers and winning games, but like outside of 2010, how many overachieving years were there for him? The relative
11.
team success, not it.
11. They had a god awful defense, and he went 15-1, and I don't think that's a fair critique, Evan. I don't.
Well, I don't look at it. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's a rallier of the troops late in his career. Let's put it that way. And I think that it's not like breaking news. He's done more harm to organizations over the last 5 years than he's helped organizations. I mean, like that's not even a debatable point anymore.
Just wait a second. You could say that about the Jets. How are you going to say that about Green Bay? He was an MVP after they drafted Jordan Love. By all accounts, a great mentor to Jordan Love, helped Jordan Love, and by his last season going the way it did, he made it easier for Jordan Love to step into that chair. I didn't think he did anything bad on the Green Bay. I think he actually did more to help Jordan.
He handled the exit perfectly. Yeah, he was amazing at handling that exit.
For the Packers, he did, not for himself. For the Green Bay Packers, there was no Jesse Nelson's jumping ship to the Jets like there was with Favre. I don't know anybody that did. Jason, do you agree that he actually, when you look at it from the Packers standpoint, Aaron Rodgers did the organization a solid by how things went, the way he ended?
Yes. He made it way less awkward, and he made it that everyone was excited about him being replaced.
Pulling for Jordan.
As opposed to when the fan base was divided in 2008 over the Favre departure.
Okay, that's. I mean, you both have a great out in this argument. I give you both credit on this. That he was such a pain in the ass that it helped them. Okay, fair.
Can you say that?
Fair.
Can that word be said on air? I just want to make sure that's fair.
It. Yeah.
That one's all right.
But I can't say the P.
You can't.
Whatever.
You can refer to the butt. You can't call him that.
Oh, is that how it works?
Uh-huh.
Both are nouns.
It seems like it's an odd decision to go back to that. But anyway, so I guess, Tausch, you and I think Goody is a major plus. Jason, where are you on this?
Mid.
No, he's not mid. He is a good... I don't understand why, if I don't say he's one of the top 3 GMs in football, then I must think he sucks or he's mid. That's not what I'm saying. He is a good GM. He signs 2 great free agents last year. He has made some very good picks in the last handful of drafts. He also had bad drafts in 20 and 21. And yes, he got Jordan Love. But at the same time, there's an argument, which Craig and I have had together on Sunday Karma, that, hey, maybe they win a Super Bowl if he doesn't draft the quarterback in 2020. I don't know what happens.
That is so ridiculous on so many levels.
Why is that ridiculous?
So Aaron Rodgers in 2020, when he drafted Jordan Love, did what individually that year?
Yeah, and the MVP.
Okay, so as easy as you guys can say, he would have won. They could have won the Super Bowl if they didn't draft a QB. Is it as easily as I could say he wouldn't have won the MVP if they didn't draft a QB?
I don't know. I think.
Right.
First of all, right, and I'm not saying I know for certain that they would have won the Super Bowl had they not drafted Love, but at the same time, I can't say for certain that they wouldn't have. They reached the NFC Championship game. Maybe that player that they draft has an impact in that game. Jordan
Right.
Love never
The
even
only
got to
way
wear
I'll
his
allow
jersey that season.
Right, but I do think that his presence absolutely motivated Rodgers in a different
I agree with
way.
that. No doubt. Totally. I've always agreed with that.
Those people that want to say if they drafted a wide receiver haven't paid attention because he famously, per you, Jason, has basically shunned the Packers' young wide receivers at that point in his career. So don't give me if they drafted this guy, he would have been great with them. There's no evidence of that at that point in his career. And I think more than any other player, including Favre, in Packers history, the bias around that guy is so overwhelming. You and Craig in his favor, me against. Let's be honest. We can't dance around that.
I don't understand why this became a referendum on Rodgers, though. We're talking about Goody and the job he's done, the entire picture of what he's done.
But, Jason, the number one thing on his resume, Goody, that is, the number one thing on his resume, in my opinion, is the impossible decision that he made of trying to get Rodgers' replacement while he was still in his prime and being right about it. That's a really hard thing to do as a general manager.
So, all right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, since we're going to stay on the Rodgers portion of this, because you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. Again, this is why when we have these conversations, I get frustrated because the perception is that it has to be black or white, and it's just not. So let me ask you this then: Rodgers wins back-to-back MVPs. Goody, who considered at number 12 in 2019. Drafting Drew Lock instead of Rashawn Gary at number 12, who clearly did not enjoy the experience of having Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, which I totally get. I wouldn't want him as my employee either if I was the GM. He is a pain in the ass, as you so eloquently put it. So he wins back to... So by you, and I'm just quoting it. So he wins back-to-back MVPs. He wins back-to-back MVPs. Love sits for 2 years. And there are teams, in fact, one that had meddled with him the year before. Another team that in 2022 hires Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach only because they think they're going to get Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback. Goody could trade him for a bounty of picks, but clearly doesn't believe enough in his replacement that he drafted, or thinks that he will be burned at the stake for trading the reigning two-time MVP, that he doesn't make that trade, and instead he gives Aaron Rodgers 3 years, $150 million. He collects $50 million the first year, and then he has to sit with a $41 million cap charge in 2023. In spite of that, they still make the playoffs, by the way. But I'm wondering, how do we fit all that into the Aaron Rodgers Goody conversation? Because if he was the greatest GM, he would have traded Rodgers for a boatload of picks, like the Seattle Seahawks did with Russell Wilson, and started the Love era in 2022. Would he not have?
Fair. I mean, it's interesting that the only knock on him, or the most obvious knock on him, if you talk about the top of his resume, which is the Rodgers/Love decision making, is that he didn't do it a year earlier. Now, again, the counter is, if Jordan Love wasn't ready when he did it, was the right time to do it, despite the return, because it doesn't matter what you get in return in a trade if you don't have a quarterback. If you have a quarterback, nothing else matters as much in terms of the return of the investment, the trades, everything like that. The great quarterback gets you out of all of those problems. And the other question I have, though, on this, Tausch, when the KBN crew was saying he hasn't done a great job, he's not as good as you were making him out to be, did they give you, so that's presenting a problem, did they give you the solution? Who did they want as a general manager, out of curiosity?
I didn't ask, so I don't know. That.
Yeah, but if they're not volunteering that, I don't want to hear that Goody's not good. Get on the air in the afternoon and say that the new, whoever's replacing Mark Murphy, that person should have offered everything they could possibly offer to Seattle to get John Schneider back. Because if you're not giving me a solution, I don't want to hear the problem.
I'm with you. I agree. Evko, before we let you go, I I am curious on because we're a couple NBA guys too, and I'm hearing. I was listening to you this morning on my way to pickleball. The Giannis, you said the big thing, KD, Giannis, all these potential players that might be available, and you didn't say Giannis is going to be available, but I'm nervous, especially if Dame doesn't come back. Homer's been saying it. I'm nervous. Should Bucks fans? We've heard these rumors for years, and we've dismissed them and all this other stuff. But if this goes one and done for Milwaukee, should the Bucks think about making this big move, or what would you tell them if you were advising it?
Okay, so you're asking me a different question than we discussed. Because what we discussed...
Yeah, I try to move it forward. Oh,
you're so good.
Or frame it inaccurately, one or the other.
Right.
There's no accurate framing.
What we discussed was the concept of some of these guys ask out, / with some of these teams move on from them. I do not believe the Bucks should move on from Giannis. I don't think there's any logical thought behind that. In addition, I don't think he's going to ask out because this conversation we're having, we've had 100 times with this guy, and he's never.
But it feels different this time. Doesn't it feel different this time?
I'm going to tell you something. So it feels different because Middleton's gone. It feels different because Lopez is on an expiring contract. It feels different because Dame has a real-life thing going on with a blood clot. This is not like a sprained ankle. This is real-life stuff. This is a father. This is this is much different than a physical NBA-type injury. But I have a theme for what is going to happen over the next few months into the offseason with the NBA. May I share it with you?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
I will say, I think this is going to be a play-the-results summer around the league. What do I mean? If Oklahoma City wins a championship, then many teams that are littered with young players that are successful, i.e. Houston, is going to look at Oklahoma City and say, you know what, we're not going to do a 3-for-1 deal. We're not going to give up 1 million picks. We're just going to continue to do it the way they're doing it because now we have proof of concept. We can have all these young guys. As long as we have enough good ones and one great one, we don't need to take 2 or 3 guys and trade them for Giannis.
So there wouldn't be as much of a market for him.
Now, with that said, Evan, you know if that market's open, Katie bar the door. Like the people will be throwing 5, 6 first-round picks at.
Hold on.
Okay.
There will absolutely be a market for Giannis. What I am telling you is that the teams that you're going to want to offer you things may not. Houston is the number 1 team on that. They're littered with young players, and they have tons of picks. They may say, you know what, as great as Giannis is, we're not going to do that because look what Oklahoma City just did. We're going to play the results on that, and we're going to continue to operate in this direction. That's
draft and develop, if you will.
Yeah, that's not actually Packers.
Right.
4 teams are going to be like the Packers.
Exactly. The OKC GM, he's the Goody of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Presti is a fascinating GM. He's never actually won anything. He's very quiet, like Goody. He was in the finals in 2013. He made a hard decision to get rid of Paul George, and you could say, oh, that must be an easy one. Look at Shea. No one knew that Shea was going to be a megastar like this.
Right.
And probably, I would say, less than half of the audience listening to Wilde and Tausch right now have any idea that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was on the Clippers. Like, how many people did Jason? Did you know that?
I think the only one who knows would be Pratik.
No.
That's the name you want to drop that everybody knows. Just Pratik.
Why you always do that to me? You reference the content call. When I do it, you get after me. Then you drop it on other appearances.
No, but I do it kind of in code where you get it, not where the audience is going to listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff, fellas.
Anyway, point is this: I'll believe Giannis is traded when I see it. How about that?
I agree with that. I'm definitely on that team. All right.
To the does he have a market thing? Absolutely. But do you want Do you want Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and picks?
No, I don't think
Probably
anything you're
not,
getting
right?
back for him is going to be good enough. The issue would be if he wants out and you feel like you have to trade him. Like, they're never going to trade him because they think the window's closed.
That's the only way you're trading is if he wants out.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about him knocking on John Horst's door and saying, listen, this has been an amazing run.
Come on, knock on my door.
And then, the Three's company of Giannis, Doc, and John Horst.
So many timely TV references on this show. 47th anniversary of the debut of Dallas yesterday. And Tausch still talks about it.
So we're not going to get into who shot JR, okay? So let's say that Giannis knocks on the door and he says it's time. They don't have to say, okay, but would they?
No, they'd say okay.
You think they would?
Ooh.
Yeah, they yes.
You don't think they try to talk him out of it?
Well, they could try to talk him out of it, but
what if they could get Drew back?
That's not enough.
Okay. Not for Giannis. I'm saying it. No, to satisfy him.
No, to bring him in is to be another component with it. Yeah. They need to win. They need to win a series at minimum, I think, in order for
and
this
I wouldn't
thing.
rule it out. I think they could beat the Knicks in the first round. I really do.
Okay. I'll join that club.
Yeah, that's not like some bold statement. We're talking about Giannis.
No, I didn't think it was.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Tausch, you seem a little out of it today. Let's be honest.
No, I'm on it, baby. I'm on it.
He took that criticism from KBN very hard.
Well, all you got to do is do what I just did. Okay, so you don't want Goody. Who do you want? Trust me.
No, they'll backtrack and say that's not what they backtrack then.
So
that's the part that bothers me.
All right. I don't want to have to be put in the position of defending those guys, but I am going to say that my critique, I'm not saying that he should be replaced as the general manager, nothing anywhere near that. My argument with Tausch yesterday that emanated from this disagreement that he had with KBN was that when you come out and publicly say that this team needs to have they have to ramp up their urgency, it's time for them to compete for championships. And Evan, for whatever differences you and I have had over the years, you always take
have you guys had differences?
Yeah, it's an under the radar reference, I know, but you always take responsibility, right? And you are very good about, hey, when I'm offering a critique, I start with myself and what I need to do better. And my issue with Goody is that he comes out and he says this, and then when someone asks him at the NFL meetings about urgency for him, he basically rolls his eyes and says that was for the players. And so that's where my criticism is. If you're going to publicly criticize your players and say they have to have a greater sense of urgency, I think you have to be willing to say as the general manager, hey, I need to have a greater sense of urgency too. Now, look, I think we showed urgency. We got a guard that's going to fit our run game really well. We think we got him. He was a valuable pickup. We like Nate Hobbs. He's going to help our corner group. But I got more work to do. And if we're going to be a Super Bowl team, I do feel that urgency, and I need to do a better job too. That was my argument.
Yeah, that sounds very fair. And now I think based on that, you understand why.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Now you know why I like Belichick as much as I do, because it's never anyone else's fault. Ever. Publicly. Right? Publicly, it's never anyone else's fault. And I understand he's boring. I understand for a lot of people he's not likable. But what you just said about Goody never came out of that man's mouth.
Yeah.
Coach, hey, Coach, you need to have a sense of urgency. You guys lost the NFC title game last year. You won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. We just got to get better every single day in all three phases, and that starts with me and the coaching staff, and I got to do better at coaching the coaches and coaching the players, and we always have to have a sense of urgency every single day. That's how he answers that. That's not like, well, I don't, but they do. That's a turnoff. I get it.
Right. All right, Evan, I know you have...
Quick thing. Well, very quickly, Jason, and Mark, if I said to you guys right now, Goody won the lottery and said, I'm out, I'm leaving, I don't need this stress, who's the general manager?
They promote John Eric Sullivan, who had like 4 GM interviews with other teams.
Okay. Tausch, your answer?
I don't even. I mean, I would agree with Jason, but I think Brian Gutekunst would still be the GM even if he won the lottery. I don't think he's giving.
Just
up.
like you'd still be doing the show.
I would. Yep.
He barely does this show, so what changes if he wins the lottery?
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Evan.
All right, Evan. Good to see you.
I heard the tornado room.
Glad you're on video with us.
I heard the tornado. Again, with the under the... unbelievable.
No. I said to Jesse picked up the phone and called me. I said, obviously you weren't on the call yesterday because I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, maybe watch the call back and you'll know. Because, yes, all guests are supposed to be on video. Here's the thing. I'm driving. We have a company policy. You're not allowed to be on video while driving.
We're just happy to have you. Get home and do a 5-star Yelp review of the tornado room because I hear that they need some more positive reviews.
See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike.
Do they actually need more positive reviews?
No, you got. I sent you a video. There's a comedian that talked about your favorite restaurant. It's really funny. I came across it, and Evan had seen it already.
Your desk.
But it did. It came across my phone.
Your desk too.
Yes. It actually, I saw it shortly before I saw the Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin commercial that we filmed, which is now available. But it was available yesterday, and I just didn't see it. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spins Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers.
Safe. Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Thanks, Evan Cohen. We always enjoy our back and forth. I don't love a referendum on Goody because I don't feel like he's... Like, it's kind of like we talk about when we have a really bad segment, which obviously very rarely happens. But you want your segments to be an A or an F, we've been taught, right? Because if it's so bad that it's an F, it's still kind of an A, right?
Yes,
Goody's nowhere near an F. He's like a B plus A minus. Like I'm getting lambasted for being so critical of him. I give him a B plus. Like I don't think he sucks, but I do have an issue with what he did about calling out the players and not saying, "Look, I have to have a sense of urgency too." That I need to get us. I believe we have the talent, but if there's one piece that I can find that puts us over the top, you never know who that is.
Yeah.
And the Jimmy Graham, of anybody who's said things, I'm the one. Jimmy Graham was a terrible signing, but they don't win that Seattle playoff game without him.
Well, Martellus Bennett was a terrible signing, if we're being fair. Jimmy Graham was a bad signing. Okay.
Very fair. So, again, I think we're...
Not signing Jared Cook was the cascade, the domino that brought all these other things. And that is the bigger mistake of all three of them, because that doesn't happen. Jordy Nelson probably still playing if Jared Cook stays on that team.
There's an argument to be made for that, but that was definitely... And that was, again... I think there's also a layer to this that we don't... I have talked about in the past. I don't like to talk about it a lot, but there was a vacuum of leadership during the final years of Ted Thompson's GM period. Mm-hmm. The cognitive issues he was having, and look, I have owned the fact that I should have done a better job because I knew something was going on. I should have dug deeper as a journalist. At the same time, I allowed the fact that I have an affinity for Ted to prevent me from, and I felt like it was a private matter, but it's a public team, so it was a quagmire that I didn't handle well as a reporter. But there's no doubt that there were people that were not the general manager who were making some decisions at that time. And that's one of them. That was a blunder. So
why don't we open it up for calls? I know you don't want to do a referendum. But
we're going to anyway.
Because of all this, you what?
But we're going to anyway.
Okay.
All right, fine. What I I don't want it to be Goody sucks or Goody's the best. Like, I want us to be able to have a conversation about this and acknowledge the shortcomings and the successes. I think that's reasonable. Homer
Will you agree that there's a lot less shortcomings than wins in the Brian Gutekunst column?
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think I've ever not done that. But
what is Goody's, and we'll get to this, what is Goody's biggest failure as the GM?
If you keep saying we'll get to this and keep asking questions, we're just getting to it.
We need to end the 9 o'clock hour. Is what we need to do. The phone number is
today.
The phone number is 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Where do you stand on Goody? Are you a Goody stan? Are you a Goody critic? Or are you somewhere in the middle? I'm saying B+, A-. Give him a grade if that makes it easier for you. But my critique of him was the harshest on what I said about the urgency thing. That is where I felt strongly about it, about him. So we'll talk about this.
I think it's okay.
Want to remind you that whether it's Brian Gutekunst, it's Ted Thompson, it's Ron Wolf, it's Tom Bratz, whoever it might be in the GM chair for the Green Bay Packers, Associated Bank has been there from the very beginning, back in 1919. They've got Packers checking. It's a great perk if you're a Packers fan, but they got so much more to offer. And it's not just Badgers checking or Brewers checking. In addition, it's all the great customer service that they provide. Early pay, access to your money up to 2 days early, fraud protection, credit monitoring, 30,000 plus surcharge-free ATMs. They are the place to be. If you haven't made the switch, do what Paul and I did. Make the switch today. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. The 10 o'clock hour starts very late in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
It took extra innings, but the Brewers were able to pick up their first series victory of the season. The Crew took 2 out of 3 from the Kansas City Royals, including a 3-2 11-inning win in the series finale at AmFam Field. Bryce Terang, the hero, with the walk-off squeeze bunt to bring in Oliver Dunn with the winning run.
First pitch, bunting it up the first baseline. It's a good bunt. Racing home is done. He will score. Bryce Terang gets the job done, and the Brewers walk off the Royals.
The Brewers continue their home stand with 4 games against the Cincinnati Reds before taking a trip to Colorado early next week for 3 against the Rockies.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour. of Wilde and Tausch begins now at 10:18. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Look, I get it. There's other stuff, obviously, that we could talk about. Matt LaFleur talked for 34 minutes at the NFC Coaches Breakfast earlier this week. Mark Murphy talked at the end of the NFL meetings. Goody talked at the beginning of the meeting. Like, there's a lot. I got a lot of stuff.
Jason, did you find it interesting that that Roger Goodell was basically parroting Mark Murphy's comments about the tush push?
Yeah, they obviously were on the same page.
We got to get the Chippewa
I find that very interesting.
So and you can find this at channel3000.com. Shameless plug. Someone asked Murphy if he had brought the tush push ban proposal at the NFL's behest. I mean, we're always in touch with the league. No, Mark, that was a yes or no question. And then he went into how he made it very clear he's not a former Commander, he's a former Redskin. And he said that he was watching the NFC Championship game, and he was really irritated, as we all were, by Sean Hockley, the referee, essentially threatening that because Washington kept jumping off sides trying to jump the snap count to stop it, and it kept being like a millimeter movement of the ball toward the goal line for half the distance, when Sean Hockley threatened to just award them a touchdown, that was a problem. I think there's more to it than that, but he very clearly took one for the team, even if he won't say it. Because he's not. Because you don't want Jeffrey Lurie in this meeting at Jerry Jones's throat because the Dallas Cowboys were the ones to propose the ban. You don't want billionaires getting into fisticuffs.
No, I think Washington's owner should have done it. That's what should have happened.
Yeah.
Why would? Yeah, that would have made sense.
I agree. But again, okay. I think this was. I think they did this way on purpose. So we'll get into that. Tausch loves to say, we'll get into this, but we're going to get into now Goody's grade. So I didn't want to do a referendum on Goody. We're doing a referendum on Goody. 844-770-3776. We got calls lined up. Your instincts on the money, as always, old T.
Any Joes? Any Joes?
We got two Johns and an Eric right now.
Okay.
So let's go to the first John. John, the horse trainer in Cleveland. Now, I don't know if that's Cleveland, Ohio, or Cleveland, Wisconsin, but as someone who has two girls that enjoy horseback riding but don't do it competitively, save John's number for me. I've got some questions for him. John, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, fellas. How are you boys doing?
Which Cleveland are you in?
Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, but I'm from Neenah, Wisconsin.
Oh, you're a Rocket.
Yes, wrestled for the Rockets.
Nice. All right, well, wrestle with this question for us, John. How do you view Goody?
Well, this is a great subject matter because I think about this a lot. And so organizationally, it seems like the power structure, in my opinion, challenges LaFleur and Goody to be relevant to whoever they're answering to. So you hear Gutekunst's rhetoric, whether it's on ESPN in an article or in an interview, he kind of almost sounds like a head coach sometimes, and I feel like that's contradictory to what Matt LaFleur could be doing or maybe what his needs are. So it almost seems like Goody's needs kind of trump what LaFleur maybe culturally might be thinking. And it seems like LaFleur's done a great job of balancing, Rodgers and all these egos and continuing to kind of schematically put himself in a place to win. And I think all Packer fans can appreciate that. And then the other thing, back to Goody, my second point would be is just maybe his ability to, understand chemistry. You look at Aaron Jones, man. that guy bled green and gold. You know, we all saw him play. You know how he was in the locker room, and I think Josh Jacobs is an absolute workhorse. But you look like at the Eagles, and the way they are pushing things through, they would have found a way to keep Jones and paired him with Jacobs and not sacrifice that chemistry in the locker room, because you took a big wind out of their sails, and you could feel it even as a fan taking that guy out of the organization. And we kind of slapped him in the face a little bit. And, man, I think that had a little bit to do with our slow start. And then we lost. We were injured, but we lost our identity in the passing game. And, you know, Josh Jacobs, we all appreciate him, but somewhere we kind of lost some chemistry there. So, anyways, I won't keep any more of your guys' time, but I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate your call, John. It's a good call. And the point about
kind of nuanced.
Aaron Jones, yeah, exactly. That's why I enjoyed it so much.
Call.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And look, Aaron Jones was an 1,100-yard rusher last year. He averaged 4.5 yards a carry. He ran for 5 touchdowns. He had a good year. He did have some nicks and bumps and bruises, but he still carried the ball 255 times, which is, in 2025, a pretty good number of carries. It's not 355 that you blocked for Amon Green on in 2003, but he was productive for them, and we did enjoy that 45-minute window where we thought they were going to have both Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs in their backfield. We'll get some more of your calls coming up, so if you're on hold, stay there.
I think John's point on the chemistry, I thought that when he drafted Jordan Love and maybe didn't Goody, and I was critical of Goody. I know Ned and some of the other people that come at me a bunch
Retired
about
Navy
my
fella.
Goody stand-em. I was very critical that Goody didn't look at the big picture on that stuff. You can make that move and do it, and you know, by all accounts, it was the right move. But you have to understand the big picture that you just gave him a contract extension, all of these other things. That's part of the growth that Brian Gutekunst has had to have.
Like Ben Brust.
Like Ben Brust. What do you mean?
From a freshman to a senior. He was the example he used about growth.
No,
So
Ben
Goody
would have cut himself.
Ben
Ben would have had to have cut himself and brought in, you know, Rhodey from Virginia to take over for him, like the Badgers just did. That's what would have happened if Ben was doing what Ben says.
So we'll get to more calls in a second. But I do think, and there was that year where Rodgers talked about how he thought, you know, he and Goody were having good conversation, and after he'd been critical, and that was all bunk, right? Like nothing really changed. He was still Brad Pitt in Moneyball, saying, I can't get close to these guys, I need to cut him. I mean, that is how he operates. For better or for worse, and we can criticize him, but that's what he believes. Because there definitely isn't a relationship. John Schneider has a different approach.
Who would play Goody if we did a Moneyball
Matt Damon.
edition? You think Matt Damon's Goody?
So if you saw Air, where Matt Damon plays Sonny Vaccaro, and he was able to put on some weight and look more like, you know, not like Jason Bourne and more like a middle-aged dude, I think he'd be perfect. The Goody movie.
Are you saying Goody's kind of a heavy middle-aged dude or what?
I would say Goody and I are shaped similarly.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You don't think so?
I don't think Goody'd appreciate that.
I didn't say he was shaped like you.
Oh, wow.
Is that Goody or Jason at training camp? I can't tell.
I think Goody's more muscular than you are. I do. Jesse, be the deciding vote.
Fans.
Oh, look, we got something else to talk about.
Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone, where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. So don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. We'll get to more of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
It's time to show off your skills and earn a pair of Bucks tickets for the regular season finale April 13th. Now's the time of year when we're all trying to get buckets. At home, on the driveway, in the gym, or even in the office. Send us a video of your best hoops trick shots. Use hashtag BucksTrickShot and show us what you've got. It's the Bucks Trick Shot Contest. Send your shots now through April 8th on Twitter at ESPN Milwaukee using hashtag BucksTrickShot.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Main.
Discount Liquor.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
said I didn't want to do a referendum on Brian Gutekunst. So we're doing a referendum on Brian Gutekunst. Give us your grades. Give us your opinion on the Packers GM. 844-770-3776. Let's get back to your calls. Let's go to another John. This one located in Franklin. John, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Fantastic. Thanks for taking my call.
God, you're always in a different location, and it's been way too long since you called. What's the deal?
Can you just pick one location to be John and wherever, John?
I have customers all over the place, and I have to do my job. So
thank you for your service. Yes.
But, like, just where do you live?
I think we're spoiled.
He lives
I
in his
live
car.
in West Bend.
Okay. We're huge in West Bend, so that's good to know.
That's our
traveling
number one
John.
territory.
Be traveling
But he's
Traveling
currently
John.
in Franklin in John's defense.
Traveling
Just
John.
leave
I
John
like
alone.
John,
John, get to his point.
John, the floor is yours.
I feel very spoiled as a Packer fan, as in the GM area, from Ron to Ted to now Brian Gutekunst. When you see other teams lose Hall of Fame players, they usually go to the bowels and they're there forever, and they don't necessarily bounce back. Hence, our neighbors to the north who are still living in 1985. And the fact that Brian Gutekunst was able to go away from 3 Hall of Famers, if David Bakhtiari makes it, when you think of Rodgers, Adams, and David Bakhtiari, and the fact that we're still relevant and competitive, we should feel spoiled. We all, I want this guy. We should have that guy. Why didn't he go get him? Well, that's going to happen. Think back to the years when we never went after free agents and never got them, and the fact of what he did last year. So I know that I can't do a better job because I don't know all the money and all the ins and outs, and I know a lot of people think that they can. I just feel very spoiled that we have people making the decisions that keep our team relevant and in the hunt for the playoffs and hopefully a title.
All right, so
That's my grade.
So John, let me ask you this, and I agree, you're not qualified to be the Packers GM. You're 100% right about that. Neither am I. Tausch is probably the most qualified of any of us, which I don't know how much that's saying. But I am curious, how much of being a great GM, like Ron Wolf will tell you, he's in the Hall of Fame largely because of one thing he did. He traded for Brett Favre. So how much of getting the quarterback right gives you, and right, historically right, like Hall of Fame good right, how much of that gives you leeway as a general manager then? And if Jordan Love is that level of a quarterback, they will win a title. If he's not, then Goody's going to have to be even better than Ted and Ron were with other moves if they're going to win a title, if Love is not as good. Do you think that's a fair critique?
Yes, and he has to be better than Ron and Ted because the times have changed with, where guys go and the powers that players have of trade me and I'm out of here, because in the past they would say trade me and they'd go, got you under contract, tough, sorry. So he has to be better, and yes, getting one of those Hall of Famers under you that you identified is going to give you that feather in the cap. I think he can be that. I think Jordan Love can be better than Rodgers because it takes years to develop, and I'm holding out hope because I love the fact that he doesn't seem to get wigged out in stressful times. He still seems calm, cool, and collective. I'm going to wrap it up to injuries last year that didn't give us the performances that we want, but I still believe that we saw glimpses of it, of what he could be, and I feel he can get there.
Yeah, you may very well be right. Thanks for the call, John, in Franklin, West Bend, wherever you may be.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to have the individual career that Aaron Rodgers had.
No. But he can still have a very, very good career.
He could win, and he could still win more championships. Because
Also true.
Brian Gutekunst has put the roster and the rest of the team in a better spot than maybe Aaron had at some points in his career. That's what I think could happen.
Let's get to another call. Let's go to Eric in Green Bay. Eric, good morning. Thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it a little bit brief today. There's a lot of different angles, obviously, you guys have dissected, whether it's free agency. I think you can look at the Aaron Rodgers situation, too, in its own lens. And then the draft, obviously, a lot of the first-round misses, but then, kind of making up for it with some good, deep depth things. I think what it comes down to for me is, at the end of the day, we consistently have a competitive team. So I would go kind of in that B to B plus average. Anything A or over, you're talking elite, you're talking Super Bowl appearances at the very least, or multiple Super Bowl appearances, right? I don't know. When I was in grad school, the expectation was you had to maintain a B average to maintain your status in the program. And I think that's kind of where he is. Like, he's not on the hot seat, but he's just he's maintaining that B average. We consistently have a competitive team that's in the playoffs or close to the playoffs, and that has a puncher's chance. I don't think he should be celebrated more than that, but I don't think he should necessarily be criticized more than that either.
I appreciate your brevity. Thanks for the call, Eric.
Too. Very nuanced.
I thought it was
I don't know why you didn't want to take calls, a referendum. You're getting everything you want.
I am getting.
There is nuance flying,
exactly what I want.
Flying around here.
What do you make of Eric's position? I thought that was a pretty good argument.
Yeah, I think he's underplaying it a little bit, but I'm not going to crush Eric on it because he's not saying that Goody's doesn't have urgency, and he's saying this is a good team with a puncher's chance. There's more than a puncher's chance, guys. There's just been more than puncher's chances under the Gutekunst era. Mm-hmm. You don't get the 1 seed. You don't get to play home games and not even have to play on opening weekend. You don't get a lead in San Francisco with a first-year quarterback, and you have everything sitting there. You didn't get it done, no doubt.
Your rookie kicker misses a crucial kick that you drafted.
That's more than a puncher's chance. So let's not act like we're sitting here and, maybe we'll flail and hit somebody. No, I'm not going to I won't agree with that part of it, but his overall theme of his call, I think, is fair. I think I think Eric underplayed it a bit, though.
You would never underplay your love of Coors Light, however. You are always very clear about that. I get very emotional when I'm talking about Coors Light.
I was going to say, geez, get choked up a little bit. Brewed with that 3-step cold process called Lager Cold Filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978. Coors Light is refreshing, it is crisp, and is only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
In the 15 years since Steph has arrived, they've been to the playoffs 9 times. They've been to the finals 6 times. They've won 4 championships. He's won 2 MVPs. He's an 11-time All-Star. He's a 4-time first-team All-NBA. He's on the All-75th anniversary team. He's the all-time three-point champion. He got them a new stadium. Yeah. He has never complained about his teammates, his coaches, his front office, his draft picks, his facilities. He has never facilitated the removal of a teammate or a coach or a front office executive. He has done everything an organization, a city, a region, a league could ask for. There is no superstar in this sport who is more valuable than Steph Curry, and no one's even close. You can tell me about LeBron. I'll tell you how he fled Cleveland twice. Yeah. I'll tell you how he fled Miami. I'll talk about all the coaches he's gotten fired and the players he's gotten traded. You can point out Durant. I'll tell you the same thing and the lack of chips that comes with it.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay, and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, let's get to a couple more calls, then we'll get to your texts from the Carbless Talkin' text line. Less is more. Hey, are they projecting those logos onto the pitcher's mound? Is that like a digitized thing, like when the snow game is going on in football and you can see the lines even though you can't really see the lines?
Sometimes it is, but not always. I think the Carbless one is painted. Because,
well, that's what I saw Carbless on there. They're a great partner of ours, and I saw that. I was like, wow. But then some games, I feel like I'm watching, and it like the logo changes. Like it could be Quick Trip one inning, and then it's Kohler Services the next. I wasn't sure.
I think it varies, but there was a replay like from third base, and the logo was still very visible there. Normally, when there's a replay, you can't see it if it's digitized on there. So I think
Tausch is fascinated by this. Look at Tausch's face right now. He's like, "What the heck are these two morons doing?"
Someone who's been to
I don't think.
If you've been to a game,
Jesse
just let us know.
knows.
Just text us if you've been to a game, and you can tell us in the first 3 games.
Yeah, where's Usher George when we need him?
Yeah.
Let's get back to a couple of your calls. We had 2 Johns, now we've got a Derek and a Dave. Let's go to Derek first.
We actually had an Eric and a Derek.
Also true. Well done. I prefer alliteration over rhyming, but that's another discussion for another day. Derek in Lake Geneva. Good morning, Derek. How you doing? Thanks for holding on. What do you got?
Gentlemen, good morning. First off, I'm highly offended by Kyle's comments about you guys. I can't believe you'd say stuff like that. But that aside, I can really give Goody no more than a C+, honestly. He's great at getting rid of individuals a year too early versus a year too late. I'll give him, A's in that category. I really wish he would take the same approach with our scouting department. Tausch, you would know who the scouts are far better than I do, but they're always trying to find diamonds in the rough, and they're coming up with fool's gold. As fans, we can no longer tolerate that. I think this is the year Goody has to save face. I haven't heard one person talking about this. We need a wide receiver and a cornerback. What if the guy jumps up and takes Hunter at number 3? Let's not talk about Green Bay on Thursday. Let's talk about Green Bay on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is the year the guy needs to save face. He knows he does. Everybody else knows he does. He can't swing and miss like he's done on first, second, and third rounders and fourth rounders consecutively. Rashawn Gary is what he is. Everybody knew that. Goody's holding out hope, gave him an additional contract. Lucas Van Ness, he's going to have to save face with that guy next year. Don't know if it's going to happen. Again, if he takes an outside pass rusher this year and doesn't make a bold move, he's basically acknowledging that he swings and misses on these D linemen more often than not. I just don't think he can afford to do that any longer.
So this is an interesting call, and thanks, Derek. I appreciate it because that is a low grade.
We agree C+ seems a little low.
So here's what I want to take from Derek's call, though, before we get to Dave.
I'll tell you this. I love Travis Hunter idea. You're getting two for the price of one.
Beat you.
Number 1 wide receiver and number 1 corner. Yeah.
You got a shutdown corner and your speed. I'm all in. I like his idea. Let's make a move, Goody.
Yeah, he's not trading up for Travis Hunter. But here's the thing that I've heard a promo of you, and it's not of you predicting the Badgers in the Final Four, although I've heard that too. It's of you saying that some seats are going to be warm if this season doesn't go well.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do you believe that would include the general manager? Because I know it includes the coach, and I know it would include some of the players. Do you believe that if this is another 10-7, 9-8, make the playoffs, lose in the first round on the road like it was this year, would that make any seats warm, in your opinion? And would it specifically make Goody's in any way a little warmer?
Yeah, if I was tiering it, LaFleur would be here. But, yeah, Goody would be there, too. This is much to the chagrin of some people that are very critical of me. This is a place that you have to win. And there is an accountability that comes with that. I don't think if they go 11-6 and get knocked out, I don't think everybody's getting fired. But what I do think is you'll see and hear and feel, talk about urgency. And by the way, there's a new sheriff coming to town.
Ed Policy.
What do new sheriffs typically do?
They hire new deputies.
If they want their own people. Now, obviously, Ed has been here for a while. And they've had a lot of success. And if the train is running, nobody's getting mad. Nobody's doing anything. But if trains keep getting delayed and you're not getting to your destination when you're supposed to, you got to start wondering, where my engineers aren't getting it done. I got to start looking around. And it's a lot easier when it's something you always want to have your own people. Right now, Ed Policy's like, oh, these are my guys.
Uh-huh.
But they're not
just
hired
like Mark
by
Murphy
him.
Inherited Ted and Mike.
Exactly. And there was a lot of success, and it's a lot easier when you win a championship, no doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, yes, there is an expectation. Everybody up there knows it. There's an expectation. You got to win. You got to win big. And if it doesn't go well this season and you don't make the draft picks and guys aren't developing, seats will warm, no doubt.
All right, we'll get to some of your text messages. We'll play double Wisconsin Geography Thursday trivia in the 11 o'clock hour, but we'll get to some of your texts on the Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776 next. Want to remind you, as I've been telling you all week, ESPN's Fantasy Football Focus podcast is coming to Green Bay on April 23rd. It's Field Yates, it's Daniel Dopp, it's Mike Clay, it's Liz Loza, and it's Stefania Bell. They're all doing their live show of the Fantasy Focus Football podcast at the Tundra Trio. And ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number 10, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, wins 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, get complimentary food and beverages, and you'll get some Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch as well. That's caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776. Go to ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details. Your texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the back. Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
This wasn't how Patrick here in Milwaukee pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, $5 off 3-pound bags of estate grass seed, just $9.99. Plus, new colors of men's and women's Carhartt pocket tees, 2 for $30. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
This, or maybe we won't, since I said we weren't doing a referendum and we did a referendum. Let's go to one more call first, though. Let's go to Dave in Madison. Dave, good morning. Thanks for holding on so long. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. Old-time Packer fan. Okay, grew up in Lombardi years, so I have high expectations for the Packers. In 11-6, losing to all good teams, that's a nothing season. Okay, that's nothing to be celebrated. I give Goody a C, okay? And I'm going to go down some points why I grade that way. You know, I've heard these free agent talk, okay? And last year, yeah, he signed 2 good free agents. Why did he do that? Because his first-round pick, Darnell Savage, was just average at best. His second-round pick, A.J. Dillon, was just a guy. So he fixed mistakes, okay? Draft better. Point number 2, he consistently overpays his guys. He overrates and overpays the guys he drafts. Rashawn Gary, highly paid for a very average player. Don't tell me he's an all-pro. Everyone laughs about that selection, okay? Kenny Clark, 3rd contract there. What did he give us? The worst year of his career. And the biggest mistake he made last year is Jordan Love. A top 15 quarterback who he pays like a top 5 guy. Okay, that's going to really hurt the Packers in 2 years. If you talk about the Packer talent, I think a good way to look at it is what does the NFL think about it? Well, let's look at their free agents. Their starting center signed with the Jets. He's a backup. That's what they think of him. Eric Stokes, another Goody first-round pick, and the starting center was a Goody second-round pick. Eric Stokes, a first-round pick, minimum will try you for 4 years, okay? These guys are nothing special at all. Some of his other picks, I know, I hear you guys talking about the Christian Watson, second round, he's a porcelain MVS, okay? You know what? I was looking at NFL stats. The number that strikes me for Christian Watson is 165. That's the number of players in the NFL last year who caught more passes than Christian Watson. It averages over 5 guys for every other team. Okay, he's not some big threat. I mean, it's incredibly overrated again. But the biggest point here I have with Goody is Aaron Rodgers. Okay, and his numerous mistakes with Rodgers. First off, he paid Rodgers a contract extension when he was already under contract, okay? How did that work out? It worked out with $41 million of dead money, okay? 2, he traded him too late. A year before, he would have got double. After Rodgers showed in the San Francisco game that he wasn't going to win the big games anymore. You couldn't count on him. He could have got double the take for Rodgers. He didn't, okay? And more importantly, or most importantly, there were years in there where Rodgers was the best quarterback in the NFL. The Packers never made it to the Super Bowl, okay? Let's look at another team, Kansas City, who has a great quarterback, okay? But they don't win the same way every year. Rodgers doesn't have, Mahomes doesn't have to be fantastic. Mahomes doesn't have to be fantastic like Rodgers was in the Super Bowl, okay? The Packers had the best quarterback. The Kansas City changes. They get the players they need to fit their system, or they change their system to win. I mean, they've been in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. That's incredible. That's who I want for my GM, okay? A guy who can adapt, has good players, but assembles a squad around them to win. Goody hasn't done that.
Quick question for you. Is that Is that Andy Reid, or is that John Dorsey, Brett Veach, everybody else?
That's both, okay? That's both. Andy Reid's a very good coach, no doubt. But hey, if he says, hey, I have to change it. We're not as good. Our defense, let's get some guys who can that's what they do. They plug in those holes. They don't have a bunch of superstars there. I mean, they have some good players, but they plug in holes to win. Goody doesn't do that, okay? He'll stick with this guy. I mean, like Van Ness. He'll stick with him until he finally has to get rid of him, like Eric Stokes. I mean, no, I don't think the Packers ever win a Super Bowl under Goody, and as a Packer fan, that's the measure of success. Okay, we are not the Detroit Lions who hang a banner because we won our division. This is the Green Bay Packers. We should expect far more.
Dave, you really put a lot of effort into this call, and I think you raised some really good points.
A lot of good points,
really do.
No doubt.
And so we appreciate this. We're going to sound graph you. You'll get no royalties, but we'll put your call to good use on social media channels. Thanks. Look, do I think his critique is a little bit harsh for my liking? I do. The porcelain MVS line was really good, by the way, and I like Christian Watson.
Sounds like you do.
No, I can have an appreciation for a good line. I mean, that's a good line. I don't agree with it. Like, he was pretty durable last year until he tore his ACL in a game he shouldn't have been playing in. But I think he lays out a lot of reasonable, calmly delivered points that would be counterpoints to all the flowers and bouquets that the Goody fans throw in his direction. I still am not giving him lower than a B+. But Dave made me think. There's no denying that.
All of the points Dave brought up, again, great call. I'm not arguing that, and he did refute a lot of things. But I just this is a results business. This is a results business. And he's trying to compare it to Kansas City. Kansas City's had 2 GMs in this little run. And you could say what you want. Well, they have. John Dorsey drafted Patrick Mahomes. Tell me if I'm wrong on that.
So Brett Veach has been their general manager. So they've gone. His first year first year as GM was 2017. So yes, I by the way, I wasn't contemplating whether John Dorsey drafted Mahomes. Okay. He did, but no matter where you go, the lights go out.
That's what they say.
So, but during their Super Bowl runs, Veach has been the GM the whole time, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, I would love for us to be in Kansas City's position. I'd love to see us doing the things like that and quarterbacking and all this other stuff. It was a good call. There's a lot of points that I think you could bring up, and if you're going to be on the Goody is a below average. C is what? Below average, right? C plus is a little above average, or C just
C is average.
Average.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want it, but you don't want your kids getting C's.
I don't. You're right. I don't want them getting all A's either. All right. I think we should get to a few texts, Jesse, because I think you've got a few curated. So let's get to those. Then we'll do trivia after that. Tausch, we missed our window to tell us about Quick Trip, so it feels like now's a good time for you to tell us about it instead.
Yeah, life is busy. Miss some reads once in a while. Quick Trip gets it, whether you're craving that fresh coffee, tasty bakery treat, or a grab-and-go meal. Quick Trip is your go-to. And, man, I'll tell you what, when I was gone, I missed Quick Trip. I missed the tenders. I missed the chicken. You know what? Now is great because we're getting back. You get that variety of 1.5 quarts of ice cream. I love it. For $2.99. I love those ones with the little caramel sundaes, the little turtles. That's my favorite.
Next thing you'll be photoshopped as a turtle instead of a big bird.
Maybe, but they also, deals are aplenty on other stuff. Bananas, jumbo onions, baking potatoes, all 29 cents a pound, plus a good Nature's Touch. Cream cheese for just 99 cents. Specialty drinks, 12-ounce frappes, cold brew smoothies, $1.49. Bam, bam, bam. Roasted whole chicken on special, $6.99 Mondays. Whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go, Quick Trip is the ultimate destination. Fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. You can order ahead for pickup or curbside. Quick Trip, we'll see you next time.
We'll get to your texts, and then we'll get to trivia in the 11 o'clock hour, which starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins... Jesse, it's been a very quiet show for you. Especially after, maybe how feel good. Nelly went earlier in the week, and then we had yesterday with the whole KBN thing that took over. Did you hear this?
Maybe there's a reason it's been a quiet show. My segments have sucked this week.
Well, here's another chance. There's another chance for you to make good.
I am hosting the jump around today at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Rutledge must be off.
He is. Yeah, Pablo Iglesias and I talking Badgers. 12:30 today.
Sorry, Pablo.
Tune in.
Jesse, what do you have on the Carbless Talk and Text line, the text portion?
This one from a 920 number who forgot to give us the name. Remember, provide your name and where you're texting from so we can give you a proper courtesy. Goody gets an A from the 920. Sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make. For example, Claypool. People think this is Madden or fantasy football, and it's as easy as just getting great players all the time at every position. Can he draft better in round 1? Sure. But that's the case for 28 other GMs who have a worse team than Green Bay. Green Bay drafts in no man's land 20 to 28 because they have a good team every year.
It's fair. It's a fair point. A- is higher than I would give him. But there are, as Ted Thompson taught us, every time you pick, there are good players available. You just have to pick the right ones. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Is Travis Hunter going to be available at 23?
He's not.
No, he is not. Still hard to believe that Aaron Rodgers was available at 24 20 years ago. But again, Terry McLaurin is available when you pick Jace Sternberger. Creed Humphrey is available.
What if Shedeur Sanders is available?
Is he the best player on the board?
I don't know. Goody Stan, what do you think Goody should do?
What if Goody's got him ranked as a top 20 guy, and he drops to
Say he's got him as a
23?
top 10 guy, and he falls to 20.
I call the Saints.
Yeah, that's fair.
Call the Raiders. Call the Giants. Call the Jets. Make some calls.
They will all have passed on him at that point. I will say this. Once upon a time, the Cleveland Browns, and actually Joe Thomas brought this up last Friday, that 2007 draft when they got Joe Thomas, they also drafted Brady Quinn, and they were desperately seeking an opportunity to move up to take Brady Quinn. And they called Ted, who told us the whole story, which was nice of him, after he got booed by the fans at the draft party for his pick, which turned out to be fair. They were offering their first-round pick and a first-round pick the next year to go up so they could take Brady Quinn at 16. And Ted kept the pick and took Justin Harrell. So sometimes, even really good GMs make big mistakes, and that was one of Ted's big mistakes. What else you got from a text perspective?
This is a long one, but
jeez, what is this, a Wilde question?
Kinda, yeah. From a 262. Again, give us your name and where you're texted from. Goody gets a B from the 262, but he has one significant flaw that keeps us from being excellent. Too many of his higher draft picks don't fit our scheme and don't end up playing to their full potential. That really hurt us in the 3-4 with outside linebackers that were really down linemen and is currently hurting us on offense with the offensive line. Jacobs not running outside zone, which is the basis of our scheme. Great teams match talent and scheme. GM's job is to get good talent that works in the coach's scheme. Got into the X's and O's there. But yeah.
It's an interesting.
A lot of good fan interaction today.
Yeah, no nuance.
A lot of good fan interaction.
I couldn't be happier today with everybody other than the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments.
Yeah, I was going to say the chat really brought you down for
it bothered
half hour
me.
or so.
I just don't want to be inaccurately portrayed. I think that's a reasonable thing. But be that as it may.
Bumping gums, the big gum bumper.
I love it when you bump your big gums, yeah. All right, so what do you think about that point that 262 makes there about, because, look, I don't think that there is a true partnership when it comes to personnel decisions. I don't think, again, I'm not saying that they have a bad relationship. I'm not saying they hate each other. I'm not saying it's contentious. I'm just saying that Goody picks the players.
So what are you saying? If you're not going to say those things, what are you saying?
I'm saying that Goody picks the players, and it's Matt's job to figure out how to use them, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of use for what Matt's opinion might be.
He's not going to get a player that Matt doesn't want. Will he?
I think Matt LaFleur used up whatever juice he had when they took Josiah DeGuara. Because I think Goody took him for Matt, and Matt said, we're not doing this anymore.
That's fair.
That's just an opinion. That is not a fact. But the fact of the matter that does exist
so
is that...
you think there is something to 262's text that Goody just picks best players, scheme but damned?
Well, so they've been a 3-4, they've been a 4-3. I would argue that here's the problem with that text. So Rashawn Gary played with his hand in the dirt at Michigan. They draft him. They make him an outside linebacker. He basically redshirts his rookie year behind the two Smith brothers. He has production on and off in 2020, 2021, tears his ACL. But now they've gone back to a 4-3, which should be something that he, because he did it at Michigan, should thrive in, and then he didn't thrive in that either. So is it possible that he's not elite and he wasn't worth his contract and it wasn't a great first-round pick? Is it just because of the ACL? I don't know what it is with him. He is vexing to me because I feel like he's not as bad as people think he is, but he's not as good as people wanted him to be. And he's in another critical year himself. That seat warming thing that you said, he's a guy, he needs a big year this year to show that he is who we thought he was or hoped he was. Don't you agree?
I would guess the guaranteed part of his contract is probably coming to an end. So, yeah, Rashawn Gary needs to have a big year. He'll be you could check the contract details on that, but yeah. The bottom line is old boy that called, and I forget his John, and had
Dave.
A lot of good points there. Dave. John was earlier. Dave's points on these players not elevating their game. Guys are either going to play well and earn new contracts, play well and keep their existing contract, or, yeah, it's going to be heads are going to spin. And when that happens, GMs there is a sense of urgency because last year was disappointing. There is. I just have a hard time when people are saying that the general manager and the coaches don't feel that or aren't doing things about it. That I just bunk. That's Bunk City, USA. Now, whether or not it's going to change, as you know, things have to go right in a football season. But the fact that you don't think they're urgent or don't want to win, you don't know the business if that's what you think.
So Rashawn Gary had an $8.7 million roster bonus due the third day of the league year. He's still on the roster, so clearly he received that. His base salary for this year is just $7 million. There's still the signing bonus proration from that $94 million deal, which included $35 million in signing bonus. His cap hit for this year is $25.7 million. Now, if they converted that that roster bonus to a signing bonus, that number comes down and they spread it around. I can't remember if they did that. I assume they did. His cap numbers for the next 2 years, though, as of right now, without a roster bonus to fudge around with, 28 and 31 for 26 and 27.
It's decision time.
It is.
This will be decision
You're
time.
right. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. All right. Those are the texts that we received. Again, remember.
So if Rashawn Gary has the same year this year as he did last year as he does this year.
This is where Goody says he went to the Pro Bowl.
Will he be on the team in 26? Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler. Will he be on the team in 26 with the numbers you just dictated?
So Rashawn Gary finished the season with 7.5 sacks. That's a lot of scratch to pay for 7.5 sacks. His pressure numbers were lower than they had been previously.
Okay.
So, again, back to the point of I can't remember who that was. It might have been Dave on that call.
I didn't hear you say yes or no.
Well.
I missed that.
Hold
Did
on
you
a
say
second.
Yes or no?
I didn't say. I didn't say either yet.
Oh.
I think he knew you didn't say either yet.
I think he did too. My point on Rashawn Gary is like Dave was saying, they keep guys until they're no longer productive. I think he's a first-round pick who's going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I think Goody would have a hard time parting ways with him. Now, they might do a restructure. They may ask him to take to restructure with a pay cut that he can earn back through incentives for 26. I think Goody would have a hard time swallowing that and releasing him because pass rushers are hard to find. And even if he hasn't been as good as you hoped, you would be fearful of moving on from him and having him go be productive somewhere else. So, no, I don't think they would cut him after 2025. That's my answer.
Okay.
But they got to dream fearlessly.
Glad you got there so succinctly. That was well done.
Nuance.
I don't think he meant that either.
He didn't.
What I mean? American Family Insurance, proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch. We love American Family Insurance. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, all so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
So according to, and we're going to play trivia next, but according to Pro Football Reference, Rashawn Gary's extended pass rush numbers. His pressures for 2024, 26. That was down from 30 in 2023 and 47 in his last full season before that because he tore the ACL in 22. He had 47 pressures back in 2021 when he had 9.5 sacks. So the number is going in the wrong direction there, both in terms of sacks and pressures. The number we need is for you to call 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10 to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, 844-770-3776. We will play it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in Sport 30-2025.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TAXI for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TAXI for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TAXI.
It's time to show off your skills and earn a pair of Bucks tickets for the regular season finale April 13th. Now's the time of year when we're all trying to get buckets. At home, on the driveway, in the gym. or even in the office. Send us a video of your best hoops trick shots. Use hashtag Bucks Trick Shot and show us what you've got. It's the Bucks Trick Shot Contest. Send your shots now through April 8th on Twitter at ESPN Milwaukee using hashtag Bucks Trick Shot. Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Let's play some trivia. Wisconsin geography trivia. ×2. Let's welcome in our contestants. Caller number 5 is Barry in Milwaukee. Barry, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Morning, guys. Love you.
Nice. I love you to begin instead of at the end.
Love Barry.
And
Absolutely.
caller 10 is Bill in New Berlin. Bill, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We are good. All right, so Jesse, before we start, we've got Up North Joe's potato geography questions.
Yes,
and
we do.
Jesse's county geography questions. Is that correct?
I wanted to do 2 categories that Tausch loves as subcategories of geography, which he loves in general. So
potatoes for sale.
Potatoes
for sale.
And counties, your 2 subcategories.
I do like both. I do enjoy both.
All right, so
great.
Barry, since you were the first of the 2 callers, you get to choose. Do you want Up North Joe's potato geography trivia or Jesse's trivia?
Let's go up north.
I like it. Bold.
Up north.
He's
All
going
right,
to regret it.
Question. He's going to regret it, Jesse says. Love you, Barry. Good luck.
Love
Here
you
it is.
guys.
Question 1 for Barry in Up North Joe's potato geography trivia. Which of the following Wisconsin towns was once dubbed the potato capital of the world? Was it Kimberly, Wapaka, or Mashville?
Nice. That's good.
Nashville.
Wait, did you do that on purpose?
He said Mashville, yeah.
Wapaka.
Well, I don't
I think
know.
he was making a joke.
I think
there.
he was too. I'm going to give
This is going to put
Kimberly,
Jesse in a
right?
tight spot.
It's not Kimberly. It's Wapaka.
All right.
This is going to put
Okay.
Jesse.
He knew it
That's
wasn't
the capital of the
Mashville.
potato corridor.
Let's go to the official review. Tausch, do you think Mashville was said in jest, or do you think Mashville was a legitimate answer?
It was completely jestful.
All right.
All right. 1 for 1 for Barry. I thought that was pretty self-evident, but I'm glad we've confirmed it with the king.
Got to go to the replay review sometimes.
All right. 1 for 1 for Barry. Bill, your question number 1 is this. In Jesse's county geography questions, Sussex, Brookfield, and Mugwanago are all Wisconsin cities located in which county? Is it Waukesha, Milwaukee, or Rusk?
Let's go with Waukesha.
You are correct. You're 1 for 1 as well.
All right.
I hear Mashville is also located there. All right, question 2 for Barry is this. Of the top 3 potato-producing states in the U.S., oh, my God. Which state has the capital city that is latitudinally the farthest north? Okay? So these are apparently the 3 top potato-producing states. Which one's capital is the farthest north latitudinally?
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Congrats
So the top-
Up North Joe and Mrs. Joe on their new child. Congrats to them. Remember that as we get after them here.
So which of these states has the farthest north capital? Is it Washington, Wisconsin, or Idaho?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I think
Either
too.
Idaho or Washington. I'm gonna go Idaho.
Bold, but wrong.
Washington.
It is Washington. You had it narrowed down. It was not Madison, Wisconsin, so good job on that. But Washington is the correct answer. All right, Bill, your turn.
That was question 2.
I know. I'm aware. Question 2, Bill. Longitudinally.
Oh, boy.
Which of these Wisconsin counties is located farthest east? Farthest east of these 3 counties. Is it Calumet, Clark, or Columbia?
Oh, gosh.
Or Idaho.
Yeah. I'll go with total guess. I'll go with Columbia.
Tausch, agree or disagree?
Trying to piece together where Calumet is. I think it's Clark. I'm going to say Clark.
You guys tagged up, and neither of you is right.
Oh, shit.
Calumet is the correct answer.
Is that
it was said in
area? Where is Calumet?
East of Lake Winnebago. Yes, east of Winnebago.
Yeah, it's over in the
It's up by me there.
Yep.
All right.
That's on me.
So now everybody has to bounce back here. Question 3 first to Barry. And you're getting buried with these questions, Barry. These are tough.
This is tough. Yeah.
Well, you did choose this, in fairness.
I did.
Accounting for roughly 70% of planted acres, which of the following is the most grown variety of potato in Wisconsin?
Interesting. Not sure how it's Wisconsin geography.
Well, it's the potato of Wisconsin. All right, so 70% of the potatoes that are planted in Wisconsin are Russet, Yukon Gold, or King Edward?
Russet.
Good one.
Well done. I didn't even know there was a King Edward potato.
Never heard of them.
Congratulations, you got
King
that
Edward
one.
potatoes are, I believe there's a fast food place that likes the long French fry out of the potato, and I think that's where they get them. That is based out of Idaho.
You're my potato guy. All right. Question 3 for you, Bill.
What kind of ice cream do you dip those fries in?
No, I didn't say what the name of the restaurant
Yeah, I was wondering which one. I don't know which one you're talking about. So
Do they have ice cream there so you can tell us which one it is?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
No.
Question 3, Bill, is this. Which of these Wisconsin counties does not directly border Dane County? Okay, this county does not directly border Dane County. Is it Iowa County that doesn't border Dane County, Greene County, or Juneau County?
Pretty sure Juneau does. Let's see. Let's go with Greene County.
I don't think Juneau does.
It doesn't? Oh, man.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Again, as is often the case with trivia, we will reconfirm with a fact check, but I think Jesse and Tausch are right. Unfortunately, Bill, that makes you incorrect.
Yeah.
Juneau would be the correct answer, I'm being told. All right, so here's where we stand.
Good little set there. Good
Barry,
little set. Made you think a lot.
You are the King Edward of potato trivia. You got 2 out of 3 correct. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Love you guys. I love you guys.
And Bill, it was not great, but hey, you still got 1 right. That still means you got 2 of the entries into tomorrow's drawing, or Mondays if Jesse forgets. So you still have a shot. We appreciate your loyalty to the show, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Didn't get blanked, so I'm happy about that. Thanks, guys.
Exactly. No skunking. That's a good thing. All right. That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia. We've got Whoa Nelly coming up next. The triumphant or not so triumphant return of an actual Whoa Nelly is scheduled to come next. But before we can do that, nope, never mind. Don't have to do anything right now. Won't Ellie is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Dynamite job.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members' direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Upon further review, I did have something to tell you about at the end of that last segment, and it was Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Hopefully you never have to make the call, because that means you've never been seriously injured in an accident. But if you have been, there is only one call to make, and David and his team are the best in the business, no matter what anybody else says and whatever claims they may make. David and his team have the track record to prove it. They will fight for you, and you will not pay until you win. So go to gruber-law.com to find out more about the firm, or make the call, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
The big urinator.
Tausch and I shared an off-air moment there, but Tausch's was on air.
Yeah, you guys couldn't just let that go, could you?
I didn't jump in and interject like you do. I let it go until I didn't.
You're peeing me off right now.
You don't pee before you win. It's good.
Whoa, Nelly!
Nice win for the Brewers.
Sorry, David. My apologies.
Speaking of winning, the Brewers.
Speaking of peeing.
In 11, yes, well, that guy at AmFam Field apparently on opening day.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't talk about that guy.
Well, what's there to talk about? It's atrocious.
I think that was 2 or 3 years ago, though. I think that was fake news.
Oh, was that a recycle?
Yeah, I don't think that was fresh. No.
I hope not.
Whoa, Nelly!
Nice win on a walk-off squeeze play yesterday. Hey, here's something we couldn't do before. Here's how it sounded on the Brewers radio network.
First pitch, bunting it up the first baseline. It's a good bunt. Racing home is done. He will score. Bryce Terang gets the job done, and the Brewers walk off the Royals on this Wednesday afternoon. And the crew, after dropping Game 1 on Monday, have won the series against Kansas City.
Lane Grindle on the call on the Brewers radio network, 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison. I think a walk-off bunt is just as fun as any other walk-off in baseball, including a walk-off home run. You want to join my club?
No, it's idiotic.
It might be more fun because you get the runner on third, takes off running. The fielders are scrambling to try to get to the ball and throw it home as fast as they possibly can. There's a lot more action and intensity in the squeeze play walk-off than there is like the home run. Sure, crack of the bat, crowd goes crazy. That's fun. You're going crazy no matter what because your team's about to win the game and does win the game. The home run is great. I think the walk-off squeeze play is better than the walk-off home run.
So Joe Buck's old Kirby Puckett, we'll see you tomorrow night, is going to be less than if you have a safety squeeze that wins a game. That's what you're telling me.
He could make the same.
Or Joe Carter's walk-off home run to win against the Phillies in the World Series in '93. You're telling me that would be more exciting if he would have suicide squeezed to bring that run in. That's what you're telling me?
If only Kirk Gibson had bunted.
Yeah, he should have bunted there instead of hit the home run.
The celebration.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Jesse. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to circle the entire base paths and pump your fists and celebrate and come to home plate. Like, you can just round first and then celebrate with the team. The player coming in to score the run is the one that counts anyway. So it doesn't matter if you.
I think when Pudge Fisk hit that home run over and he was moving his arms, it would have been better if he would have bunted it down the third baseline.
Pudge Fisk.
Get back in play. Get back in play. I think you're onto something here, Jesse.
Jack Buck, first of all, Joe Buck did do the call in 2011, similar to his dad. Jack Buck could have said, instead of fly ball center field, we'll see you tomorrow, or whatever he said, he could have said, lays it down, first base line, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Could have had the same call for a squeeze play that he did for the home run. It's not that much different. It's more fun. Racing down the third base line. Bunt is there, and they win it. Get into it a little bit, Buck.
Jesse.
Whoa, Nelly!
I feel like I've said my adjacent take it. I've kind of told you where I feel.
Can we just enjoy the fact that winning the game on a safety or suicide squeeze?
No, it was safety. It was a safety squeeze.
I understand, but I'm also including the suicide squeeze, which I don't know if they changed the name of that now, the much more dangerous squeeze or whatever. But I'll be honest.
What does PETA took that over?
I don't know. Feed a fed horse. It is an exciting way to win a game. It is not even in the same ballpark, pardon the pun, of a walk-off home run.
Is it better than a walk-off
I'll say
sack
this,
fly?
Jesse, I was listening to...
Yes.
I don't know who does the post-game show.
It's more exciting than a sack fly. Unless there's a major play at the plate on the throw from Bo Jackson.
Not if it's a... is it more exciting than when Sid Bream scored that run when Barry Bonds was trying to throw him out? No, I thought that was more exciting. But I'll say this.
Josh Mauer had the post-game show, and then Dom Catrone.
Josh Mauer, I was listening to 100.5 in the post-game show driving home yesterday, and the fact that old boy went in and Murph Dog told him, hey, if you can lay down that bunt, lefty on lefty. And that little added drama piece to it, that's fun. That part's fun. Just like Tommy Lasorda probably told Gibby, hey, hit one out of the park. Murph yesterday went to old boy and said, hey, if you get this, put it down the first base line. Let's go win this blanking game. And that's what he did.
It's a great finish. It's an exciting finish. It's a great little anecdote that we got afterward. It is not as exciting as a walk-off home run. Dale Swaim on Easter Sunday, if he bunts, is not as exciting as Euchre's call. There's a swing and a bunt down the first base line. Get down, stay fair, and the Brewers win. No,
swinging a bunt. Is a walk-off bunt better than a walk-off single? Because that's very anticlimactic when you just.
I think you can make that argument, but that's not what you said. You said
ball game. Brewers
you said
win.
It's more. You even doubled down and said it's more exciting than a walk-off homer.
I am starting. I believe it.
This is a total check the tape situation.
You know what this is? This is a Tausch. If they get to Milwaukee, they'll go to the Final Four. You're revising.
No, I actually said that as we were talking.
Walk-off home run in a tie game, not as good as a walk-off bunt. Walk-off home run if you're losing and you come back and get the lead to win the game, that's better because then you're coming from behind.
Take the L. I can't wait for Wonelli tomorrow because this has been a rough week for Wonelli. Jesse, do you have anything else, or do you want to cut your losses?
That's all I would like to say today in Wonelli. I'm going to stand by what I just said.
Okay, well, Jesse could cut his losses, but you can count your winnings on a road trip to our new partner, the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford.
Now, I am so excited about this partnership. Going down to Chicago, you always go through Rockford, and I always see that beautiful Hard Rock Casino off to the left-hand side of the road off of 90. And now, head on down. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, guests can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe. Council Oak steaks and seafood, bricked up Italian kitchen, your new UU noodle bar, street tacos. They got it all. Head over to Hard Rock Casino, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
We will wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. the best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Mark Tausch here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Draft day is approaching, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean grain certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So I guess since we did this preemptive poll at the end of yesterday's show.
Shoot, we did do that.
And then we never talked about it.
Oh, you put a preemptive poll in the field.
We did. I sent it to you this morning. How do we want to communicate with you? Just so we all are on the same page. Like, you don't read the show sheet. You don't look at our text. What do you do?
Jesse, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It's accurate, but it's not
you
fair.
Guys, I send you stuff.
You send us stuff.
That.
Do you ever read it when we send it to you?
This is a one-way mailbox?
Send long videos from Facebook. I can't log in. I don't have a Facebook
It's
account.
not from Facebook. It's a screen. I saved it, so all you have to do is hit play.
I'm very scared of getting fished and getting catfish and whatnot. I know. I'm just telling you. I'm very scared of that. So if it's something I have to click on and hit like an attachment,
it's the same as the video of our TV commercial.
If it's not on X, if it's not a Twitter deal or an Instagram deal,
because nothing shady happens on X.
I sent you the Twitter poll.
It does,
and
but if it comes from you, I know it's probably legit. And on Instagram, the other stuff, I go like, if you send me it.
Which is
if you send me a TikTok, I'm freaking out.
You're
thinking
done.
It's gonna get. I'm going to get whatchamacallit.
You had your chance. The poll question that was supposed to be for today, which will now be for tomorrow, is this. How many 2025 starters, players who start at 8+ games as a rookie, does Packers GM Brian Gutekunst need to select in this year's NFL draft in Green Bay?
Good
0,
question.
1, 2, or 3 or more?
That is a good question. Really
we will address it tomorrow since we never got to it today. Have a
Is
great
the Brewers
day.
game starting? Is this one of those shows we go till 12:15? Late Brewers, early Brewers start. No? Oh, okay. My bad.
Check your show sheet. You'd know.
That'll do it for us today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, Gina.